Welcome back. You're still tuned into Midcap Radar. Well, we are very close to December. In fact, it's December starting tomorrow. It's been holiday season in October, November as well. So let's get going and talk about demand trends. Visa services provider BLS International, it reported a good set of Q2 numbers. But of course, we need to understand what is happening in Q3, considering that it is the holiday season. They spoke about growth in applications, improving realizations on a month-on-month basis in their Q2 conference call. They also signed an exclusive global visa outsourcing contract for Slovakia to offer outsourced visa services across 18 countries. To discuss this and more, we have Shikhar Agrawal, Joint Managing Director of BLS International Services. Shikhar, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, come December, all we can talk about is people taking holidays and, planning for one. Can you give us a sense of how the last 2 months have been, that is of Q3, and what is the outlook looking like for bookings in the month of December, and how do you compare it with the previous quarters?
So definitely, if you see our Q2 numbers, we have done a revenue of 407 crores and EBITDA of 86 crores, which is a 52% growth compared to similar quarter last year. So our H1 numbers are looking really good. If you talk about Q3, definitely, we are doing stable numbers, as you compare to the same quarter last year. Definitely, there has been certain increase in volume across the world. In countries like India, after COVID, this quarter we have seen, people are traveling for Christmas, for New Year's. So definitely there has been increase in application count from certain countries. We are still not fully back to pre-COVID level because certain countries like Russia and China, which have opened up, the volumes are not fully back. China, we have seen a certain surge in numbers. So we expect, whatever numbers that we've achieved in the first 2 quarters of the year, we wish to maintain those numbers. And in fact, as China and Russia become close to normal, there could be a good increase in volume of applications.
Shikhar, good afternoon. A follow-up to your earlier answer, you said you have not yet back to pre-COVID levels. Do you have a specific timeline for that? And part 2 of my question is, you have been talking of acquisitions for a while now. You still have 700 crores worth of cash on your books. Why has no acquisition materialized yet? Is there something in the pipeline?
So definitely, if you see the application count, if you talk about that, we are back to 70-75% of pre-COVID level, probably I think 75 to 80%. Certain countries, like Russia and China, which were going to open up. China has now opened up. We are seeing a surge in numbers in China. Russia is still not back to pre-COVID level because of there are no direct flights to Europe from Russia. That is why the numbers still are less. But I don't have any specific timeline, but we certainly expect that next year, numbers from China should come back to full level. From Russia, it will, I think, still take a little bit while to come back to normal. We have also won a few contracts like with the government of Slovakia, Germany, Italy, Hungary, that we have rolled out. And, Slovakia is a big win because it's another global Schengen contract that we have won, where we will be rolling out in 18 countries. On top of that, we have also won new contracts with the Aadhaar authority in India, wherein, we will be processing around, we were doing data quality check of around 70 million applications in a matter of 3 years. It will give us a good revenue of around 50 crores. That contract is also extendable. If you talk about acquisitions, in fact, till date, last year also we did an acquisition of around 150 crores. Zeromass, we acquired that company. Before that, we acquired a company called Starfin. The cash that we've had in the books, it took us a lot of years for earning that revenue and that cash. So definitely, we are being careful in our acquisition strategy. We are doing proper due diligence, to get good returns on our investment. And in fact, we are doing due diligence on 2-3 companies as and when, since we are a listed company, as and when things are finalized, when we have signed the contracts, only then we can announce.
No, we do take that point. Acquisition is not something that you can just go ahead and do. So, of course, due diligence is important there. But Shikhar, when you speak about month-on-month increase in applications, can you give us a number? What was the application number in Q2? In the 2 months of Q3, how much has that increased by? And what would that do to your FY24 revenues and margins as well in terms of growth?
See, if you talk about margin, we've already achieved a margin of 20%, in the last quarter. If you talk about last year, we were doing a margin of 15 to 16%. So there has been a enormous growth. We are at 20% plus level. So we wish to maintain that margin level. All these new contracts that we are winning, with Slovakia, with Germany, we are utilizing a couple of our, a lot of our existing offices, existing infrastructure. So definitely, an increase in margin happens because of that. If you compare the quarter two numbers, compared to similar quarter last year, there has been definitely increase in volume. In percentage terms, in quarter two, we did around 75 to 80% of the volume that we were doing in pre-COVID. If you talk about quarter three, there has been further increase of 2 to 3% in terms of volume that we are doing in terms of, visa volume in certain countries of China have opened up. And these new contracts that we have won, as in when we are rolling it out, there could be a further increase in quarter three and quarter four. And from next year, there could be a further increase in volume.
Right. Any new tenders that you are participating in, Shikhar? And do you see any progress in achieving more tenders in the more contracts in the second half of the year going forward?
See, if you see our trajectory in the last 1.5 years, we have renewed our contract with the Spanish government at an increased service charge, with new categories of applications being added. We have won contracts with Slovakia, Italy, Hungary, Germany, Portugal, Poland. So we've been winning a lot of contracts in the last 1.5 years, and next few years also, a lot of these contracts with the same governments that we are working for, and new governments are coming up for bidding, in which we have been working for. We're doing pilots. So we expect certain contracts in the European region to come up, and we expect in the North American region also certain contracts to come up for renewal, and we are definitely counting on getting some market share that will add to our top line and bottom line.
Okay, all right, Shikhar, thank you so much for joining us. So quarter three is looking better than quarter two, understandably so. It's the holiday season, and you maintain the margins that you are seeing currently as well. We'll slip into a break now. Up next, we have a special segment, Midcap Spotlight. We'll focus on GAIL. The stock is high by 6% in trade today. So we'll tell you what's happening here. Stay tuned for that.